Okay.
All right, welcome to our grand finale computer science learning event. And this is May 17th, 2022. So we'd like to welcome you. And if you are here in the meeting, let us know what brings you here. What is your role at your office or school? Okay, you know what? Okay, there we go. I thought my screen was stuck. All right, there we go. So I am Janine Nakakura. I am a resource teacher with the Hawaii State Department of Education. And I'm on the computer science team at USID. And this is my colleague, Faith. Say hi, Faith.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
So this is Faith Ishihara. She is also on the computer science team. She is an education officer, also at OSID. Did we have somebody just join us?
Yeah, Anna, our
Oh,
dear
hi.
friend. Hello.
So happy you could join us.
Yeah, I saw that I was a little late.
It's okay.
No
We're
worries.
so glad you're here. Okay, I can't get rid of this. You are sharing your entire screen thing. This minus thing is not working. But it says agenda for the May learning event. And if you click on this link here, it will take you to our agenda. So hopefully Faith can put the agenda link into the chat.
Yes, I will do that
So
right now.
you can follow along with us and play with us because we've got a lot of fun things for you to try out. So this is our agenda with all of our links and resources and a timeline of what we'll be presenting to you in the next 28 minutes. Okay. So moving on, just to recap the learning events this school year, we had special guests like Shaylin Farnsworth in January for News Literacy Week. She's from the News Literacy Project. We had Jamie Nunez from Common Sense Education in October during Digital Citizenship Week. And we also had our complex area computer science resource teachers and leads to share what they learned and what their teachers learned at the CSTA and ISTE conferences last summer. And we always have prizes, so stay tuned for a prize at the end of this one. So back in August, we started with this bell ringer activity to categorize the terms below into the 5 computer science core concepts. And we did a couple for you, the easy ones. Like coding goes into algorithms and programming. Big data, of course, goes under data and analysis. And then impacts of computing, digital citizenship fits in there. And they could fit in other areas too. So there's no right or wrong answer, but some of them fit better into some areas than others. So Anna, we're going to put you on the spot here. Where do you think debugging or troubleshooting would go? What core concept would debug or troubleshoot go under?
Algorithms and programming.
Okay, algorithms and programming. And could you tell us why you think it might go under that category?
Well, I think that, if something's not working in a computer program, the coder can go in and see if there's a little mistake in the program that they wrote. Sometimes one little keystroke can make it not work correctly.
Yes.
And that's we might debug it.
Thank you. That's a good example. So it could go under that, and it fits very nicely under algorithms and programming. And it could be in other areas too. And we'll talk more about that a few slides into this presentation. So thank you. And some of the other terms we didn't cover and some we did, but any of those terms you could pick and they could fit into various categories. And they're good discussion pieces. Faith and I had a discussion about VPNs and where it would belong, where they would belong, or where it would belong. So anyway, bell ringers are just a way to get the conversation started. So just to recap again, this is our flyer on the left, and that contains all of our presentations, all of our agendas, all of the recordings, everything from this past year is in this flyer. And if you're watching the recording, there's a tiny URL or a bit.ly link for you to access that flyer if you don't know how to get to it. And again, the purpose of these learning events this year was to increase awareness of computer science and provide equitable access to high quality CS education for all students. And again, they were 30-minute virtual sessions. Everyone was invited. We shared books and resources and activities. And the main purpose was to integrate and implement computer science and into everything we do, and also to let you know that it's more than just coding. It's the 5 core concepts. And here we go. Here are the 5 core concepts. So what I will do is hand it over to Faith, and she will talk about troubleshooting in more detail.
Okay, thank you, Janine. Yeah, so as Janine mentioned, each month we went through each of the 5 core concepts. So back in September, we covered computing systems, which is like the hardware and the software, and how they all kind of integrate to where we can input information and it will output information for us, and it processes and stores all that information and data. So the next slide shows the agenda that we had for that month, and you're welcome to take a deeper look at it at your convenience. And then we talked about troubleshooting. So here's a really common problem that the printer doesn't work. And actually, when we shared this, one of the attendees was having that exact problem, and they said, "Could you help me? It's real. My printer doesn't work." So on the next slide were some resources that we had planned to share out, and we went into that first link and kind of walked through the steps that it recommended, and we were able to help solve that problem. So hopefully these links that we're sharing out again will be helpful to you and your students. And then the next core concept is networks and the internet. So let's see, I'll show the agenda. And the next slide, this has a link to an article that talks about how the pandemic revealed the inequities of connectivity across our island and state. And so this group, AMO Collaborative, is trying to create mapping, an accurate, accessible map of connectivity in our different islands and state. And so they're inviting people to go ahead and fill out this survey because there isn't that kind of information that's accurate and available yet, and they want to be able to provide something like that. But in addition, on the bottom of this slide are a couple of links where you can actually test your connectivity speed. So I'm gonna put the links in the chat, and you're welcome to check it out. I think Janine is doing one of them at least. And all you have to do is click on that go button and see what the speed is. And while she does that, I'll just mention that I tried this, different times of day, and it does vary. So clearly when everybody's online during the workday, it's a little slower, and it's much faster in the evenings. So it's kind of fun to see where what your numbers turn out to be. I don't know if anybody's tried it and wants to share, or Janine can tell us her numbers.
Sorry, that was me coughing, but my download is 74, upload 11.
Yeah, I tried it too. And my download was 78 and my upload was 44.
Whoa.
But, yeah. And then, I did some research, and I was curious what are good numbers. And it said a good download speed is 204 megabytes per second and upload 74. And but that, of course, that's ideal. The average is more like 10 and 3. And it depends on this, as I mentioned, the time of day, maybe the location you're at, or even the devices that you're using. So kind of interesting just to see, where we are on that. And the next slide talks about creating strong passwords. So when you are on the internet, it is good practice to change your passwords often and try and get really strong passwords created. So on the top of this slide is a link to an article about ideas on how you can create really strong passwords. And so I added underneath there a phrase that, and you can use this strategy, get a phrase and convert it into a password. And then at the very bottom, you can enter that password into how secure is my password. And it will tell you about how long it would take for a computer to crack your code. So I put in this capital AGOMUT password into how secure is my password. And this particular one would take, was it? Password. I'm sorry. Oh, here. 3 quadrillion years. So, yay, strong password. So, you might, share that strategy with your students and have fun checking out the passwords that you and your students create. And then on the next slide, this this is about AI, and this particular kind of like game, it can be found on Hour of Code, and it's called AI for Oceans. And so what it is you're teaching the computer or the AI machine what belongs in the ocean. So if it does not belong in the water, then it's a no, and if it does, it's a yes. And it's a kind of fun way to even engage the really young students and get them introduced to the AI, what AI is. And then the following slide is machine learning. And I invite you to click on the yellow link and play for a couple minutes while I talk a little bit about this. And I think Janine tried one earlier. We could hear the program
I see
talking.
rainbow, or ear, or potato, or peanut, or steak. I see pond, or sleeping bag.
What was that supposed to be?
A skull. I don't know how to draw a skull. That was hard. Okay, I
Sorry, I
failed.
couldn't guess it.
Okay, let me try another one.
I see garden hose, or peanut, or car, or steak. Oh, I know, it's guitar.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, I know, it's hand.
So I think
I see line.
I
I see
really
boot,
enjoyed
shin,
this. The
leg,
students would too.
skyscraper, or nail. Oh, I know, it's ladder.
Okay,
So,
sorry. I
Janine,
was just having too much fun. Stop. Okay.
so by participating, Janine is helping to teach the computer what is, or in the fish and the rubbish in the ocean, what is or is not, you know, um, that item
Sorry,
that's supposed
I
to be
couldn't guess
drawn
it.
or something that belongs in the ocean. Because AI is kind of like uh, it's it's machine learning, and we're teaching the machine to be able to do a little bit more human-like intelligent activities like visual perception, speech recognition, decision making, and even translation between languages. But all of that requires a whole lot of data teaching. It's called machine learning, and that data kind of actually leads us to the next core concept of data and analysis. So I'll turn it back to Janine.
Right. So this is a blast from the past. This was in February, and we covered data and analysis. And some of you may or may not be familiar with our computer science data dashboard. Let me take you to the dashboard. And here it is. So if you look at it, there's a lot of information on there. And you can actually go to a complex area and take a look at the data. So Anna, name a complex area that you would like to look at to see how they're doing with computer science.
Let's see, Farrington.
Farrington, okay. Yeah. So we click on Farrington, and there you go. Here's all the data for Farrington. And it goes from 18-19 school year to 2021. So you can see that total enrollment has increased. And you can see by gender, by school, and so forth. And I didn't know that there were these tabs on the side. So this is just general data. And then current enrollments. So you can see all the different schools. So there's these 3 tabs that you can click on to get data regarding computer science in the Hawaii State Department of Education. There's also national data from code.org, so you can click on that link if you're interested in national data. So again, this is a way for you to see what's happening in the Hawaii State Department of Education. And just, to get a general idea of what's happening, some of the data, we're updating it, so it's not always like the most up-to-date data or the most accurate, but it gives you a general idea of what's happening in our state Department of Education schools and computer science. Okay, now here's a fun use of data. Anna, do you do Wordle?
I do. I do it faithfully every morning
Wow.
after I feed the cat.
And Tara's on the call. Tara, do you do Wordle?
No, I've been introduced to it, but I.
Oh,
no.
hi, Tara.
Yeah,
Hey.
I've been introduced to it, but I don't do it.
But no,
So,
I can't add it to another. Nope.
so Janine and Anna are our Wordle people.
Yeah, so I do it every day, and actually, to me, it's kind of easy. In general, the Hawaiian Wordle is even more challenging.
Oh,
I don't do that one.
Yeah, I have to use my dictionary. But the thing that I found interesting about Wordle is I'm not, just playing it, but the statistics. When I first played it, I said, "What is this 124338 thing? I have no idea what it is." And I had to do some research. Do you know what? Do you know what the time is here? The next Wordle.
Yeah, that's the world clock, right? Going from like 12 hours, 43 minutes, 38 seconds for when you're using Wordle. So it's the next day, really.
So you can only do one a day. So if you did yours early in the day, then you have to wait, this many hours until the next one. And then here's another puzzle. So people would share, via Twitter or Facebook, their Wordle, what they did for Wordle that day. And, you have 6 tries. So what does this data, this picture data show us? This person got the answer in how many tries? First row, second row, third row.
On their 4th try.
They got on the 3rd try, actually, right? 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
And then
No, there are only 3 lines there. Yeah, on their 3rd try.
So 3 out of 6. They took 3 tries out of 6. And then there's this 207, and I was like, what is this 207? Do you know what that 207 is?
That's the number of times that you've tried to or played Wordle, and then your average of whether you get it on the 3rd out of 6 tries is like your average, right? Or your high one is.
Do you have any other, anybody else want to take a guess at what this number, because I didn't know what it was either, and I had to look it up. And it took a long time to figure it out.
Is this something about the word bank?
No. Sort of. Okay, so they're all 5-letter words, right? And there are only a certain amount of 5-letter words in the English language. that are common enough for people to know. So this is the Wordle that you did, the number. So if you've done 207 of them, then so this is number 207. And if you do one tomorrow, what will this number be? So if you did 207 today, tomorrow it will be.
So Anna got it right.
What'd she say?
Yeah, she was saying that's the number of times you've done it.
No, not necessarily. So let's say you skipped yesterday, or you skipped tomorrow. So if you skip tomorrow and you didn't do it,
the number of words you've completed, then.
You know, I'm gonna have to go check that actually. I don't know if it's how many you've done or what it is for that day. Because if you skip 5 days, then it may, just skip the 5, and so the next time you try it, it'll be 212. Actually, that's a good. I'm not quite sure what the answer is, but that's a good discussion piece. So let's go find out what this number actually means. Does it mean how many you've done or what it is for that? Like today is 207. Tomorrow is number 208. And this is a way for friends to know which one they did. Like if I'm comparing with Anna, I'll know that 207 and 207, we both were on the same one. But if you're in a different part of the world, you may be on 208 or I don't know if it calculates where you are. So that is a good question. I don't know the answer. So let's move on because we only have 30 minutes and I'm going to go research that after. Algorithms and programming. We did a whole bunch of activities and, I guess we did things in, when was it? Like last month in April, but we're going to try something new in this one because we didn't have enough time for this. So what I would like you to do is if you have a piece of paper with you, draw a 5x5 grid, 5x5 grid. 1, 2, 3, 4. Sorry, I made mine too short. Okay, fine. A 5x5 grid, if you can. If not, you can just do it in your head. Mental math. Okay, so I have a grid, a 5x5 grid. And I forgot my eraser buddies at work. So I'm going to improvise. And I got a Post-it note. I'm going to draw a face on the Post-it note to pretend that this is the eraser buddy. So it's a eraser with a face on it. So I'm just getting a Post-it note. I put a face on it. So that'll be my eraser buddy. Here's my grid. And then the grid has a starting point. So the grid has a little like triangle. That's where you start. Okay? Just like that. Okay. So what we're going to do is click on this handout. So if Faith could put the agenda again into, or the presentation link into the chat.
Here's the handout.
Slide. There's a handout. And this handout, I was told, is too small, so I need to make it bigger. There we go. So basically, you're going to follow this program here, right here. N is equal to 3, and we're going to repeat this 3 times. And we're going to repeat this inside part n times. So we're going to start with the innermost circle, which is repeat n times. So n is 3. We're going to start with 3. So the eraser buddy is going to start here, and the face is facing forward. So it's going to move forward 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And then it's going to rotate left. Okay, so the face is going to rotate left, left. And then n is going to be n minus 1, so that'll be 2. So now move forward 2 times. 1, 2. Rotate left. And then n minus 1 is now 1. And rotate left. Okay, so my question is, which of the following shows the location of the robot or the eraser buddy after running this code segment? Is it A, B, C, or D? So if you think you have an answer, yell it out or put it in the chat. And let me double check my answer. So n is 3, so we go 1, 2, 3, turn left. And n is 2, go 1, 2, turn left. And then n is 1, and turn left. So which one is it? And both of you are winners already for being here. So you will get a prize pack with eraser buddies and a your very own grids. You can do this on your own or have somebody else try it out. Okay, so which is it, A, B, C, or D? And I won't tell you the answer right now. Maybe you're working, trying to figure it out. How are you two doing, Anna and Tara?
I didn't have anything to write it on, but my mental map says D.
D or B?
D, assuming I turned it the right direction. This is a dyslexic nightmare, this little activity. But if I turned it the wrong direction, then it's off. But
And Anna, did you
I
do something?
I didn't get the directions, and my cat was trying to explain everything. So
Cat wants to do it.
yeah. So, and my grid is too small for my little paper clip. So it was, I don't know what you were saying. 3 and whatever.
So basically, we're starting here. We go 1, 2, 3. Turn left.
oh, I went the wrong direction. You go the direction of the arrow.
Yeah.
I went up.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
you go 1, 2, turn left, and then you go 1, and then turn left. Okay, so I won't tell you the answer. I'm going to send you a kit. You will have to figure it out on your own.
Can you go back a slide?
Oh, you want me to click on the handout? This handout?
No, the one that's just showing the answers.
Oh, the answer.
Oh.
No, I'm sorry. The choices to the answers.
Choices.
This one. Yeah, this one.
I moved my arrow the wrong direction. Turn left. 1, 2, turn left.
Okay, I'll give you a hint. It's not D.
Yeah, no, because if I the
Because
wrong
you know
direction, it's
that.
not.
You know that. All right.
2, 3.
Well, we're almost out of time, so I'm sorry to
Okay.
rush you along here. We can chat after this, though, so I'm just going to finish up this presentation. The 5th core concept is digital citizenship, or impacts of computing. We had a special guest in October to celebrate Digital Citizenship Week. And we talked about dispositions like slowing down and self-reflecting. Maybe before I share something, I'll seek facts and evidence and look at other perspectives and so on. Envision options, take action. And then we gave a little dilemma. If one of your friends recorded a humiliating video of you and shared it for the whole world to see, how would you feel about that? Especially if you had to, see everybody at the volleyball game the next day. So how would you feel if you were that person? How would you feel if you were the person sharing the video? So it's discussing, being in different situations and what you would do. And then Common Sense Education has these great digital citizenship lessons. It's free. You can use them tomorrow in your classroom. 6 different areas, K to 12. You just have to create an account. And next year, we're gonna focus on digital citizenship, and we have a WHOI. So if you're interested, we're gonna have monthly 20-minute sessions with 10-minute question answers, and you can fill out this form if you're interested in being on our mailing list and want more information. And then we have a little flyer here with becoming recognized, which only takes 4 to 6 hours. For the whole year, and you will become a recognized educator, get a digital badge and a banner for your school. So we're going to focus on that next school year. So again, it's more than just coding. It's the 5 core concepts for computer science. We covered 25 out of 93 standards, K-12 standards for computer science this past school year in our 10 30-minute sessions. And here is a progression chart of all the standards, and the happy faces show what standards we touched upon. Okay, we didn't maybe go super in-depth, but we did kind of discuss these standards. And again, here's the code. 1A is the grade band, AP means algorithms and programming, and the last number is the standard number. So if you do go to the website, just a reminder, there's a pull-down menu that you can use to get additional detail about the standard, such as this one, okay? And then again, there are practices. If you want to know more about them, just click on this link here. And we did do an April learning event on the practices, which aligns nicely with computational thinking. And then I'll turn it over to Faith.
Okay, thanks, Janine. Yeah, so we wanted to also share Linda Lucas has written 3 Hello Ruby books, and this is actually the first in that series. And although it says Adventures in Coding, it doesn't really teach any coding language, but it does expose you to those computational thinking skills that Janine mentioned, which are really key to computer science. And so we invite you to borrow this or any other book in the statewide ebook collection. And Janine will go to the next slide that shows you how to go about borrowing that. There are audiobooks as well. And then the prizes that she was talking about. So whoever has a first name with the most letters in common with computer science will win. But as she mentioned, you're all winners, so everybody's gonna get a prize pack. And the prize pack this month is the eraser buddy and the activities materials for the activities and some a few surprises as well. So please complete our feedback form. We love to hear from you. And um, there's we're going to be posting all of our learning events on our computer science YouTube site. So we're kind of working on it. It should be there maybe next week. And until then, refer to the flyer that has everything. So went a little over, sorry, but thanks so much for attending and participating. And we're going to stop the recording, and you're welcome to stay on and just talk story with us. Let me shut the recording down.
Sarah, unfortunately.